Hey guys, this is Mel, and I am back to talk about the latest episode of TV show Lost Girl, and that is episode 510, titled Like Father, Like Daughter, and it premiered on September 13th, 2015. And I have to say, what an episode. Many things were answered, yet more questions were brought up, but I'll just get down to it. Once again, I'm going to try to do it with a 10-minute counter clock. Hopefully I'll make it, but I think I have my sections prepared. So let's start with the first one. And let me just click start. And the first section is titled Something New That We Learned. And basically you did find answers about Lauren's final moments in the previous episode, and that is the fact that Lauren has conducted an experiment on her when she injected a few phase samples which have turned her into a conduit that temporarily absorbs a phase power as long as she touches them. So in that moment, she basically borrowed Bo's ability as a succubus to save herself in the last few moments of the previous episode. So basically the way I see it, she's kind of like Rogue from X-Men in a sense. And I thought that was pretty cool, but in this episode, for Lauren especially, we get to see her not only uncover that, but get to experiment a bit and run some tests on herself, because she finally, not only was she wondering what happened between her and Bo, but she found out that she did it again with Vex, who appeared again, yay, and she did a few things, and she did it again with a siren, so we'll get into that. But I really like that they actually went more into it this episode instead of just brushing it under the rug. Another thing that we learned in this episode was a way to vanish the ancient. A way to vanish the ancients, and that is the form of this painting called the Vanishing Painting, which was originally in the Santiago family, which is Hale's family, but he ended up a long time ago putting it up for charity, and it eventually got into some gallop. Anyway, mission was for Bo to get it back, and that painting was meant to have this song on it, and when sung to whichever ancient would vanish them away. And apparently the painting can work on Bo, so there's a problem there. But that's kind of what we learned new. Next, let's go with my top 3 favorite moments in the episode. And the first one is, drumroll please, Kenzie's return. Yes, that's right. Kenzie returns in this episode, which I didn't think was going to happen. I thought if she were ever to return, then we'd see her in the series finale. But I'm so glad that she came back, even if it was for an episode. But I hope it's not just for this episode. But the funny thing is, though, Kenzie's blonde in this one, and it's not just the fact that she's blonde, but her whole outfit in this whole episode was bright colors. Usually with Kenzie, we had the black hair and the really dark shaded, usually black clothing, but she's basically an all white or beige. So I thought that was really contrasting to what we've known Kenzie for the last 5 seasons. So I love Kenzie's return. I love that we got to see more Bo and Kenzie sisterhood things going on. We got to see a little bit of her flirting with Mark, even though I wish we got to see more of it, but I thought that was fun, even though Dyson kind of put a hold on that immediately. And I don't know, I kind of wish that Kenzie got to have a bit more of a one-on-one scene with each of the characters she's kind of left behind, like Dyson and Tamsin, but her main focus was on Bo and helping her out, so I always thought that was cool. Another thing that I liked about this episode was the past episodes being brought up. Like, for example, when Bo was talking to Dyson about how she saved Lauren by breathing chi back into her. This is before they found out about Lauren's power. Dyson brought up the fact that the first time Bo did that was with him after her dawning, and she had to suck the chi out of many people before she could bring him back. So I like that they brought that up. They also brought up Hale's death. They also brought up the Santiago family again, so it was a great way to connect it. We also brought up the history with Persephone from Bo that happened earlier on in season 5. So I thought that was great. And my third favorite moment was Zeus's vanishing. Spoiler alert, but if you haven't watched the episode, I don't know why you're watching this yet. But anyways, and I really like that part, not only because it was a face-off, but because of Lauren's part to play. And she used her new ability as a conduit to play the role that the siren was meant to play, which I had hoped for when she appeared at the trap site with Bo and the siren and Kenzie. So I'm really glad that that played out, but I was kind of surprised that it happened like it did for Zeus. Like I said in the previous episode, these ancients are being built up so much, and then to have them gone in an instant on a first try, it just seems too easy. But let's move on. Top 3 moments that peeved me or bugged me so much. And 2 of them revolve around Alicia, the human that Dyson has now claimed to the Fae, and which I do not like at all. Not only does she know the truth about the Fae, but the fact that she was claimed by Dyson in the way that Bo claimed Kenzie in the series premiere, now it just means that Alicia's not going anywhere. She's stuck, and I kind of don't like that. She's kind of annoying. She's kind of always, like, I get the need to be curious, but there's, like, a point to do that, and then there's a point where you're overstepping. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that she's an outsider. Maybe the fact that she's a human, which in this show you kind of are wary towards, except for Kenzie and Lauren, but there's that. And I actually thought when he brought her to the Dell and then Trick poured their drinks, I actually thought there was some sort of elixir in her drink that Trick had poured in to kind of mess with her memory so that they can kind of erase anything Fae out of her head. I was hoping for that, but apparently she gets claimed instead. Second reason that related to Alicia was the fact that Mark spilled the beans like he did. And I think that if he hadn't seen Iris's photo when he did, he would not have done it. But since he found a kinship, or he felt some sort of bond between Alicia and the fact that they're both lost someone, and like maybe that's why he told her the truth. Don't know. Another third moment that I really didn't like, when Persephone was hugging Zeus, she warned her that it was a trap. Why in the world would you warn them that it was a trap if you wanted it to work in the first place? That makes no sense. And then, like, moments later, Bo walks out, but, like, still, if you plan to trap someone, you don't tell them it's a trap until it's too late. That's all I have to say. Most shocking moment of the episode. The very end, when it was revealed that Hades and Zeus were conspiring together. The whole trap that Bo was planning managed to be outdone by Zeus and Hades when it was all just a ploy. Hades had changed the first song that was in the painting, and because of that, Zeus played along with the fact that the song worked on her. And then it shows at the very end that it was all part of their plan. They're gonna stay hidden. Don't know if that was just a one-time thing or if they're actually working together. But one thing's for sure, Hades doesn't want Zeus to go after Bo, but it's very well clear that Zeus is afraid of Hades. I mean, even just the look on her face, it was very, very telling. And it seems that Hades has a bigger plan. And apparently there's another picture behind the painting with a fire-breathing Pegasus-like thing burning a crowd of villagers. Who knows what that message is. Maybe there's a second song. But I want to say I did like the cleverness behind the song being embedded in the painting itself. That was pretty cool. So, 5th segment, random questions. I guess not random, but questions I've had after thinking about the episode are, 1, why does Bo think that the painting can only be used once? I mean, Kenzie brought it up, wondering for Bo, why did she decide to use it on Zeus instead of Hades? It gave me the impression that they only think that the painting can work once, but why do they think that? Is it only a one-time deal? If that's the case, can it not be used again since it was previously used before to trap the ancients the first time? I don't know, that wasn't clear. Second question, how did Hades manage to switch the notes for the first song? How do you do it? I mean, you only saw the painting once, and that was when Bo and Kenzie visited him, and he was behind that glass prison wall thing, so it's not like he actually touched the painting. Unless he had someone else change the song, or he has power that we're not even aware of that allowed him to do it. So that's another one. Third question, why wasn't Tamsin included more in this episode? I mean, she only appeared once, and that was in the scene at the Dell where Kenzie introduced Hale's grandfather, Heathcliff, to Bo and Tamsin. And then Tamsin was behind the effort to track the painting. But that's it. That was the one appearance from Tamsin. And I was disappointed. I was hoping for more. But anyways, you'd think they could use a Valkyrie more often. So, let's get down to predictions. 1. I think Zeus may switch vessels so he could be on an equal playing field with Hades somehow, since Hades did comment about it. 2. Lauren's new transference power is going to backfire somehow, or it's going to have some sort of complication at some point. I don't think there are no negative effects. And I'm really thinking back to season 3 where that other scientist guy wanted to turn himself into Fae. I mean, there's complications in that, so I would have to think that a simple injection that Lauren did couldn't be the only way for her to become a fake conduit. And there goes my timer. So close. Anyways, 3rd prediction though, and it's my last prediction. At some point, I think Bo will be on Hades' side, which would be against all her friends, before she comes to her senses and switches on him and traps him somehow. That's my 3 predictions. And my basic thoughts on episode 510. So, what did you think about it? Did you have any other questions to add? Did you have your own predictions you wanted to include? What were your favorite moments? Your favorite not moments? I'm sorry, I'm tired right now. What shocked you the most, and what did you learn about the episode? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. And it's really dawning on me that we only have 5 to 6 episodes left of the show, and it's going to be very interesting to see how exactly those are going to pan out, because I'm going to assume that the finale is going to have to deal with a final showdown between Bo and Hades, because I think that's what the build-up is going to be all about. So, this is Mel, and I am going to say goodnight, and tune in next time for 511, and until then, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with all your other friends from Lost Girl family. So, until next time, catch you later. Bye.